is Wednesday, April 16th. It's going to be Wednesday, April 16th. I am recording this at 8 o'clock at night. Okay, markets, it's 7:15 actually. So markets haven't completely closed, but they're closed enough. And I got to tell you, so here's the story from today. I was freaking out. So I think I've been open with everybody. This year, first year, I decided to hire somebody to do my taxes. And I haven't heard much from them. I know I'm paying them a lot of money, but I haven't heard much from them. And I heard back and forth and did some things with them. And I figured today they're going to send me the paperwork and I'm going to, see what I have to owe and blah, 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 the whole thing. I have an appointment to sit with them tomorrow. And I thought it was kind of strange, but it is what it is. So I called up and I sent them a frantic email last night, before I went to bed. And I said, hey, I know you guys are busy, blah, blah, blah. Well, they didn't call me this morning. So after I got off the podcast, I called them and they said, hey, dumbass. And they didn't say this, but this is how I felt. Hey, dumbass, you're in Georgia. Don't worry. The hurricane came through. You got till May 1st. I was like, son of a bitch. And I thought maybe they were lying to me. Maybe they just want the extra penalty payment to come out of my pocket. I don't know. But in all honesty, I got till May 1st. I ran Perplexity. I looked at it. So I do have that appointment at noontime tomorrow. I got to do some things in the morning. So I'm recording at night and you're going to hear it in the morning. So again, I will say this. Things may change on the ground in a big way. So I'm going to keep it a little generic. We're going to look at charts because charts don't change. They don't lie. There might be some differences in the after hour moves. But again, we're going to look at this. So I want to bring up, yesterday was an alpha pick. And if you don't know what alpha picks are, you can go over here to the link tree right here. And it is the fourth link in alpha picks. It just beats the S&P. It's part of the bundle, but it is a stock on the 1st and the 15th. So I've always been one that said, hey, when I have time, I'm going to start scalping. And so I went on live at Substack. You got your alert. I made sure that the alert came on at about 11:45. Several people joined me. I think there were about 30, 40 people that joined me. I learned something. And I think that's the key, is that you learn something every time. I bought the stock. I don't mind owning this stock, okay? The stock is actually a very good stock. It was a double down on a stock that they owned, and they purchased again. The stock has a $6 billion market cap. And so it does seem the pop didn't come as expected. I was on Substack Live with some people looking for the pop. It was a bit of chaos. The email didn't come out. I was actually on the website, refreshing like a madman on Alpha Picks, okay? Because the article was posted right at 12 o'clock. But it was chaos. I didn't get an email. The email came, I think, at 12:08. But I was able to get in at a good price. I was happy to where I got in. It did come back down through the day. So it just didn't pop. And again, what a lot of the discussion was, hey, it's a $6 billion market cap. Maybe on a $2 billion market cap, you might have that. I just remember in the day when it was Motley Fool, I could literally sit there and do that for 10%. So maybe now it's a little bit different. So I'll hold on to the stock. I am perfectly happy holding on to the stock. I think at one point I was up like $10. It wasn't a big purchase anyway. It wasn't like I'm throwing down, $50,000 on something like that. I was basically buying into the Alpha Pick stock, and I thought maybe, hey, if it pops 10%, maybe I just pay for the subscription. I can go on air and tell everybody I paid for the subscription. It didn't work out. So, when in doubt, just change your plan. So if it continues to go down, maybe I just cut it because I already have like 140% gain on the first buy of this particular stock. So I just doubled down. But let's talk about some things that I was right about. Okay. Bank of America up 3%, was up as much as 5%. Again, earnings were good. Algorithm got you in at 36.46. This is a good stock. This is a $40 stock. Again, banks, I think you're looking at the second half of this year at them buying back their own stock. They will be the number one buyer of their stock. And I think Bank of America is one of them. I think Bank of America does perfectly fine. Now, is it expensive? Absolutely. This is too big to fail. You don't understand what too big for fail is, but it's expensive. The valuation C minus. It's 10 times forward earnings. You can find cheaper banks. This is the one that's too big to fail. Okay. Wall Street thinks that it's a $49 stock, which is 31% upside. Have they brought the stock price down? Absolutely. Do I think it's going to go up? There are a couple of things in the profitability that you want to look from stocks like this. Let me see. I think it's in profitability. Maybe it's earnings or financials. Net interest income is what I'm particularly looking for. And I'm not sure. I usually, there it is. Net income margin. Okay, 28%. That's really good. That's really, really good. And on a bank, you look at that and you look at the book value. And I think Bank of America is worth it. Now, revisions, momentum, profitability suck. I own a small portion of this. Another one that is really good. Again, if you want to buy this just in the algorithm in Trendspider, it's right there on the screen. 51%. Okay, over 23 positions over 24 months. You win 52% of the time. So you win 12 out of 23 times. Okay? And it just got you in at 36. Your MACD is below the oscillator. Your RSI coming off of levels is 16, being oversold. Where's your 200-day? At 44. I think you claim the 200-day again. The weekly, you're down below it. Again, I think this is a good stock. Another one that is good. Citigroup. They were up almost 10% since the 4-hour algorithm said to get in here at 60. Where are you trading? 64 right now. What was your high today? Your high was 66. That's 10% above 60. Okay, 4-hour algorithm. Over the past 24 months, 4-hour algorithm has a 52% win rate. 52% win rate. Okay, and here's the thing. The 4-hour algorithm makes you 57% versus 42%. So again, you can trade this one on the 4-hour algorithm while you wait for financials to turn around and get deregulated and start buying their stock back. It's a good stock. Year to date, this one is down 8%. It's a good stock. 1 year, it's up 10%. It's beating the S&P over 1 year. Look at the S&P. The S&P is up 6%. 1 year, Citi's up 9%. So it's a good stock. Again, I was right about that one. Want another one that I'm probably most right about? And I'll give you some guidance on this one because it was up 5%. Okay? Netflix flew 5%. The high was $993. $993 in the morning. I think you need to start looking at taking some profits on this. If you bought in at the algorithm at $930, start taking some profits. You do have earnings coming up. But as you get close to 1,000, okay, that's where it peaked out, 1,064. So as you get close to that, I don't think the weekly has reset enough. Okay, don't be greedy. The options market is pricing in a relatively small reaction on Netflix earnings. So if you've got some profits, just take them. The 4-hour algorithm, it does fantastic in Netflix. 163% versus 190% buy and hold. You win 52% of the time. Again, 23 positions, so you win 12 times. Over 24 months. The 4-hour algorithm is one that works on this. Okay, and it tells you when to get in. So during this tumultuous market, this is one you want. But again, it's rate its run. Palantir is one way up almost 6%. It's up 4% here in after hours. Okay, the high was 98.99. As you get to 100, you start taking some profits. Okay, if you bought in here at 88, fantastic. Like I said, $80 on this one is most likely support. The 4-hour algorithm had you in at 88. It's got a 50% win rate. This one, over the last 24 months, has 50%. 24 positions, 12 win, 12 lose. Okay? Your average loss, 4%. Your average win, 23%. Buying and holding does far better. It doubles your money. And the reason is because of that huge run from $8 all the way up to $90. But as you get to 100, you start to trim this one. And their earnings are coming up. Okay, and FYI, Palantir is one of the 10 stocks here. 10 stocks defying the downturn as 70% of the index trades below its 200-day moving average. We talked about how important the 200-day moving average is as a main component of technical trading and charts. Here are 10 stocks in the S&P that are trading well above their 200-day, and they trade between, and they've made you year to date between 10% and 29%. So again, I'm focusing on individual stocks here that have worked. Everything that I just went over, minus Citigroup, okay? Bank of America, Netflix, Palantir, all are in the core portfolio. It's not like I've never mentioned these before. The core portfolio are stocks that are good to buy. Okay, more than likely, in my opinion, these are good stocks to buy. And even if you're new, you can trade Cleveland Cliffs. It hasn't worked out, but you can trade it. Google is a great buy here at 157. Again, the core portfolio, the three that I mentioned. Now, one that's not in the core portfolio is CrowdStrike. Okay? This was up 4%. CrowdStrike was up 4%. It's up 2% right now in after hours. You lost a little bit in the after hours. But CrowdStrike, the 4-hour algorithm had you in at 369. I bought here. Last week, I told you I bought. I went in big on this one at a lower price. I think I got it somewhere in the 350s, if I remember correctly. Okay, maybe 360s, somewhere in that neighborhood. You're trading at 392. You closed at 392. In after hours, you're at 386. The 4-hour algorithm on this one, okay? 24 positions, 58% win rate. 58. Your average win, 12%. Your average loss, 4%. I pre-ran it that day on Wednesday. Now, this was when the market was way up. Did I make a mistake? No. I believe in this. The logic in this one was buy and hold. And I already had a position in this. But this is a product that has the ability to shut down the world. And the algorithm makes you 206% versus buy and hold at 210%. So I'm fine buying when the algorithm, and I pre-ran it. It didn't have that. That was the day after, okay? April 9th was the day, that last Wednesday when we had the 11% run. Shut up and buy. This was one of them that I shut up and bought. Okay? Trendspider, our double bottom scan is a great way to find names that quickly rebound from the last week's bloodshed. Look at that. That's a chart showing the double bottom. And if you had the scanner, which is right here in the description, you can import it. The scan spots double bottom formations within 3% of their breakout point, giving you a simple and effective way to track strength as it emerges. You can just log in and import. We're going to subscribe, and let's go see if anything happens here. Let's click to open it. You've got CING, okay? Double bottom. You've got a ton of these. This is a ton of stocks. You can find one. SIGA, SIGA. I don't even know anything about it. But from a technical standpoint, double bottom, potential, bounce back. Road, which is Construction Partners, Inc. I know nothing about it from a fundamental standpoint, but if you wanted to see it and you wanted to research it, maybe it's a good one. Look at that reset right now. Okay? Again, finding opportunities to do something in this market other than just sit around and lose. Finding stocks that are showing bullish strength is what you want to do, and Trendspider allows you to do that. Your charting program better allow you to do it. Okay, and one that I want to show you, we'll get out of this one, but one that I've brought up many times before, okay, using the 4-hour algorithm, is Snowflake. And I've said, when you get under that 150, and you want to buy it, I've said it many times before. The algorithm doesn't work great on this. But when I see an entry at 147 and I'm trading at 146 and I see this chart where it goes from 125 all the way up to 189, and I can maybe make some easy money on a rebound here on a software name that has no tariffs, I like it in this weekly channel. Okay, I like it. Keep an eye on UNH because UNH is in the core portfolio as well. I brought it up before. We got added back to the core portfolio at about 550 or so. You're trading at 580 right now. Keep an eye on it. This looks like it's going to move lower, but I like where it's heading into earnings. They have earnings coming up tomorrow. It's after hours. So understand tomorrow, this one may move back down. I think any weakness, you look to get back into this one. Okay? China fired back. It's officially a trade war. Boeing stock falls as China suspends plane deliveries. Who's importing? Here's the thing. They got to pay the tariffs. So why would you take delivery of a plane that is going to have 145% tariff? Why? Why? There's no way you're doing that. So I don't blame them. But China fired back. And what happened later was Trump says, hey, we're going to try and tell our partners you choose China or us. It's officially a war. It's not great. It's not great for the markets. Pick your battles. What happens when you buy the stock market down 15% or worse? Ben wrote a fantastic article. At the worst point of this correction, the S&P was down 18.9%. That was the day before the giant 10% move. Okay, the results are pretty good. The average returns were strong when you bought down 15% in the past. VOO and chill is an actual strategy. And when you look at this chart, okay, it's easy to forget how many 20% drawdowns we've had in just the past 5 years. Go back to COVID. We had the 28% decline in 2022. We had 35% decline in 2020 and a 20% decline in 2018. In other words, every 2 years, the market suffers a large drawdown and it still has come back every time. Sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. This chart shows it best. It's an opportunity to buy, but your time horizon should be right. Do I think that I don't think we're going to hit all-time highs again. But I also don't think that you have much more to go down because think about it. I think that the market is in one person's hands, Trump's right now. And I don't think he wants it to go down. So if you think Pelosi did the right thing, remember in Trendspider, you get political buys. I showed them right here. You haven't had Pelosi sell anything into this bear market. In fact, one of the stocks that she bought, okay, VST, we can look at this one. Pelosi bought it way back in January. Guess what week it was? At least she disclosed it during the peak. Okay, you can buy this at 115. She most likely bought it at 180. Does she have some insider information that she's just holding on to? This is the kind of thing that's in Trendspider. You can hit the what's happening now, and you've got a ton of things. Unusual options, large outside the money puts, CEO buying stocks, buy rank confirmation. You can get all the large earnings per share surprises, dividend yield of greater than 10%. You also get CFO when they buy the stock, rank upgrade to buy. You can get all the rankings. All of this is within Trendspider. It is a fantastic, fantastic service that I just don't show half of what it's all in. Okay, but this is one of them. You can mark it and you can set an alert. Say you want this one in the 4-hour algorithm. The 4-hour algorithm makes you 284% in this. You win 35% of the time. Over the last 24 months, there have been 20 positions. Average win, 33%. Average loss, 3%. So if your average loss is 3%, it's worth the risk reward. You make 284%. Is it guaranteed to go up? No, it might be expensive. But look, it just got you in at 113. You're trading at 115. You got a gap up here between 178 and 189. That's not filled. Maybe they have some type of killer earnings, and all of a sudden you fill that gap, or you get your first stop is going to be the 200 day. Okay, at maybe it's the 50 day here at 119, which has started to turn over. The weekly doesn't look like it's completely reset, but a stock that's down at 44. And then you want to use Seeking Alpha to type in VST. Well, let's see. It's 5 out of 6. Okay, it may be performing badly. What's number one? RWEOY. I don't even know what that is. Then AES. And my favorite, TLN, which, by the way, over 1 year is up 113%. Year to date, this one is up 0.14%. That sounds horrible, doesn't it? Well, compare it to the S&P. Year to date, the S&P is down 8%. This one's flat. So again, find the stocks that you like, and you can use the tools that I have. But again, I brought up specific ones here. Now, United Airlines killed it. They are up 6%. What does this say? This says that airlines, they guided a little down. They beat earnings per share by 17%. Revenue beat by $20 million. Now, UAL, it's a beaten down stock. It's a beaten down stock. You're at your 200 day, 51. Boy, in after hours, you're at 70. Looks like the MACD probably will start up. The RSI's at 39. People will start buying this. Okay? The other one they will start buying is Delta. Delta was even beaten down further. So you're going to start to see airlines. This one's up 4%. Things aren't as bad as they seem to be, perhaps. In fact, Interactive Brokers, this one's down 10% after the market closed. Interactive Brokers, here's the thing, 32% account growth rate, and raises their dividend. Plus, they get a 4-for-1 stock split. Seems okay. The CEO started touting about how traders were net buyers through the quarter. The entire quarter, they were net buyers. It's not a bad thing. So maybe this one, maybe it's a little bit extended. You can take a look at it from a valuation standpoint. It's a little bit extended. It's financials, investment banking, and brokerage. What's number one? To up financial. But Morgan Stanley. Then you got Hood at number 6. Then you got Charles Schwab. Find a bank that you like. You know, Goldman Sachs I bought. This one's even worse than Interactive Brokers on the quant. But I bought this one because it was close to $500. And I said, I want to hold this one at $500. I bought a bunch of it. So I like that one. Now, I went on to FinViz and I saw this JNVR. JNVR is a software. And I saw it because it's a new high and it's overbought right here. It was up 12%. I said, you know what? This is kind of interesting. Let me look at this one. And then I saw that massive move. Okay. I went to Seeking Alpha and I said, what's the news? Purchases $10.5 million of Solana as part of new treasures. Ooh, that seems interesting. Then I went over here to Seeking Alpha and I said, JNVR. I went over here and I said, you know, ooh, this one looks interesting right here. Algorithm got you back in at 25. It got you out with a 246% gain, but you couldn't know. But then it got you in at 25. Where are you trading today? 74. That's a 300% gain with confirmation on the 4-hour. The 65-minute, even better. Because it got you in at 32, got you back in at 35. Okay? It originally got you in at 12. So pick a strategy, find it. And I said, you know, with this one, it looks like a SPAC because when I go to a weekly, boy, that price, the price action was just around 4. I didn't know what it was. So what did I do? I went to Perplexity. I said, what is JNVR stock? Why is it going up so much? And was it a SPAC? The stock has surged dramatically in April 2025, shares rising over 1,200% in just 2 weeks and trading as high as 74.56. The extraordinary rally is driven by a combination of strategic corporate changes and a pivot to cryptocurrency investment and significant speculative interest. It's a crypto thing. It's a crypto thing. I still have no idea how this thing is up so much. I don't know what the value is. When you go and you look at it here in Seeking Alpha, it's got no, it's not covered by the quant, but you can see the valuation. They're not making money. You can go to the financials. They're making $2,100 in revenues, and yet suddenly has a $94 million market cap. So, and you can read the most current is Jan over the next strategy, not at this price. That's what they're doing. They're using a crypto exchange, and it's Kraken and Solana. It's basically hype, but you can absolutely trade this one. Okay. Look at a 5-minute chart. Go into the after hours. Look at a 5-minute chart. Is it looking good? Not. It's looking kind of weak, but wait for tomorrow. Again, this is just, I found this literally on Finviz, and it was nothing more than just finding it. So you can find stocks that you can trade, that you can find, that you can research. It's all out there. Now, one that I want to bring up, I don't have a news story for it, but it's out there. Just, here it is. The U.S. government informs NVIDIA it requires license to export H20 hardware to China. This is it. So due to the development, NVIDIA expects a charge of $5.5 billion in its upcoming quarterly financial statements. So it's down 6%. $5.5 billion. Look, they made 130. So $5.5 billion might hurt them a little. But when you go and you look at their valuation, it's not expensive traditionally. Again, if they have the growth that's there, that $5 billion is going to be nothing. But it's affecting the stock. It's affecting the stock, and that's not good. They're being put in the middle of the China-U.S. war. So that's it. I know there's going to be more overnight. I know there's going to be more news in the morning. What do we have in earnings? Let's go over and look at Earnings Hub. Because in the morning you have, ASML, you have Abbott Labs, which is interesting, U.S. Bank. And then you have KMI after the market close. I'm more interested in United Health on Thursday morning, Taiwan Semi overnight. Schwab should be interesting, to say the least. I think that's a bank on the rebound. And then Netflix, like I saw, as you get closer to 1,000, I think you take the price of that one off. Netflix's, their estimated earnings per share, $5.73. What did they announce last time? $4.27. That's a big bump. It's a big bump. And their earnings, $10.11 billion last time. They're expected $10.5 billion. So it's a little bit of a big bump for me to be trading at $1,000 with that multiple. But again, you make your own decisions. I will talk to you tomorrow, maybe. Keep the alerts on live. Remember, Trendspider has this sale going on. If you want the 4-hour algorithm, I went over all of that stuff. If you want just the 4-hour algorithm, it is $596 for the year. It's a fantastic plan. You can get it quarterly. You can save a bunch of money. See if you like it for $213. You won't get my 4-hour algorithm, but you can always figure out your own strategy. You can build these things. Again, you can import everything. You just won't get my 4-hour algorithm. If that's what you're actually doing this for, don't sign up for Trendspider. Go and learn technicals, because you can build your own thing. I got an email from a message on Instagram. Hey, have you ever done Ichimoto clouds? Yeah. Trendspider has so many indicators. You can type in cloud right here. Okay. Cloud. Ichimoto Cloud, you have a bunch of them. MA Cloud by Ripster, dual RSI with Color Cloud. There's a ton of them. Look at all of these indicators that you can use. All of these are meant to help you find exits and entries in stocks. They are all all mathematical equations that will help you take emotions out of your trade. Okay? All of these things. They really, really help. So go and find a tool that will allow you to do that. And if you can't find a tool that will allow you to do it, get Trendspider if it's within your budget. It's on sale. And again, if you want the bundle on Seeking Alpha, all of that stuff, it's all there. Have a great day. I hope to talk to you on Thursday. See you, bye.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears.